Chandrashekhar, uh, currently working as a faculty in one of the institutions in Hyderabad. And then I'm associated with the Karma Yogi along with Aditya sir since 2020. Uh, so today I'm going to discuss a few things about exclusively to regarding prelims, UPSC prelims. In the first part, I will discuss about how to prepare in the sense related to the content. So content part I'll discuss initially, and then beyond content part, especially for those who were not able to clear for a few attempts, like maybe two attempts, three attempts, or even single attempt, there are certain skills in UPSC with regard to solving the UPSC paper. It is not just about the content, but beyond that, there are certain tricks or certain mindset that you need to develop. So I'll also discuss that part as well. And finally, I'll also tell you how to be in the exam hall, which type of mindset you have to develop, and how you need to solve the UPSC paper. That also I'll discuss, right? So let's start with the session. Firstly, briefly, I'll tell about the content part. Most of you might have already prepared with the various sources and all. So I'm not going to discuss those sources part. Whatever you have prepared, you can continue with that. And don't think that there is a particular strategy. Whatever I'm going to discuss is not a rigid one. Okay. So it is, you can follow anything, but there are certain basic, what you call certain rules and certain methodologies. Those things you have to incorporate. You may follow any resources, you may follow anything, any process, but there are certain basic things everyone has to follow. So those things I'll discuss now. First thing, whenever you are preparing, you might have already prepared. So uh, if you still have time to correct those things, you can do it. Always remember, unlike other exams like SSC CGL or any other state PSCs, UPSC has very good scope for analytical skills. I mean, the practical application. So you need to prepare the content, maybe polity or history, in a manner that you practically apply it. For example, why president has a role in giving the assent to the bill, right? So it could have been just passing of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, but why president is part of the parliament, why he was given with a role to cross check whatever the bills that has been passed by Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, why he is part of parliament. So apply it. There is a logic or reason behind most of the concepts, if it is not for all other things, but yes, for few, uh, most of the concept, there is a logic behind it. So whenever you are preparing the content, whenever you are reading the books, whenever you are reading the subjects, try to practically apply it. Okay, so president will give assent, the bill will reach to the president, he will read it, he will give the assent. So you have to develop the analytical skills, understand the content rather than mugging up the thing. And I have failed two prelims consistently, but after that continuously I was able to clear prelims four times. So there is a reason that my mindset was trying to recollect everything, try to remember everything, but that is not the logic. You have to understand, practically apply it. So in the exam hall, your brain won't search for where you have read, rather it will think about the statement that is being asked. So that thinking mindset, analytical mindset, you have to develop whenever you reading the subjects for the UPSC prelims. So that analytical mindset, practical application has to be developed when you are preparing for it, right? Second thing, of course, there will be facts. There won't be any logic reasoning behind that, but you have to blindly remember those things. That also you need to read and then make a short note of it. I'll tell you how to make the short note of it as well, right? So this is the approach: analytical understanding of the subjects, and then remembering the facts by making short notes and reading them repeatedly. So these are the two basic things everyone has to follow. Now I'll be discussing about the last 2 months strategy for UPSC prelims. There is approximately 60 days, even less than that. So there is a certain things that you need to follow. You might have already prepared the content. Now what you have to do, when you are revising in the next 60 days, try to do at least two times every subject. Polity has to be done twice, then history has to do twice. So all the subjects at least you have to do twice. Okay, remember this thing that you have to do it twice. And there is a process to prepare. First reading, try to do it a little bit detailed. Okay, no need to prepare any notes for next 30 days or 35 days. Try to do it in detailed manner, understand everything and then remember the facts. Okay, second time when you are reading, you can no need to read all the textbook. So your brain will tell, you might have already read it 2 3 times, your brain will tell that certain topics in each of the subject are difficult for you. It will be different for you, it will be different for me. For example, parliamentary committees after the parliament chapter, this is a little bit difficult for everyone, right? And fundamental second part of the fundamental rights are little bit difficult. Similarly, directive principles, fundamental duties are easy, so you can just skim through them, identify the difficult topics in each of the subject and try to revise them in the 2 3 times after your first reading. If you have already completed the first reading, now you can focus on the difficult topics, as there is only 2 months. And one more important thing, the notes making you might have already done for most of the subjects, but you have to make a very short notes. Just like in the last 10 days, you need to have a very short material for all the subjects together. It should not cross beyond 40 50 pages. So take some 10 pages. You might have already prepared notes, but this is different notes. You have to take 10 pages for each of the subject, like polity, geography, history, economy, environment, science and technology, all the subjects. Take 10 or 12 pages based on the length of the subject, and try to make a short notes of the difficult points. Now I'm not telling about the important ones, but the difficult ones. UPSC now asking from anywhere, there is no such important concepts as such. So your brain will tell you that try to make a note. This is, even though after reading 2 3 times you are not able to recollect this, so try to make the critical points in a very short manner. If it is economy subject, you can do it in a 5 pages, very short subject. And polity is a bigger subject, you can do it for 10 pages. So like that, have a short notes. And in the last 15 or 10 days, you will not open any textbook. You will just revise those fodder material, and then you will solve some 3 4 full length tests in the last 10 to 15 days. That's all. So whoever, you might have read different sources and you might have completed 2 3 readings, but try to make a short notes from now itself, so that in the last 10 days you will not search for the textbooks. And one important thing here is, if you have a very short fodder material, your brain will feel very confident that you have covered everything, and in last 10 days you have a fodder material, so I'll just revise these things. So you should not search for textbooks, and then you will confuse, you will become an underconfident in the last 10 days, and it will show the performance, it will affect your performance on the D-Day, that is the preliminary examination. So this also helps you to boost your confidence. Try to make a very short, crispy notes from all the subjects, even though if your note making has already been done. Okay, this part you have to complete. And the same is applicable to the current affairs. Current affairs was the most challenging thing for most of the students, because they don't read current affairs on daily basis. They keep accumulating it, and they do it in the compilations like PD 365, right? Because there are many reasons, like covering static part or maybe doing job somewhere. So these are all issues there. So what you have to do, for each monthly magazine or PT 365, after reading once, I'm telling, it is not for the first reading, rather it is for second reading or third reading, you take one paper, not more than 1 or 2 pages for each monthly magazines. If it is PT 365, then for science and technology, just make 5 to 8 pages, and environment 5 to 8 pages. Make a short notes of the factual pointers. There's a dump of facts, dump of concepts. So you, after even after reading 2 3 times, you will not be able to recall most of the things, right? Maybe 50% 60% you can recall, but the minute facts you won't be able to recall. So that's why you need to, again, as I said, for static part, you need to also make a very short notes. For whole 1 year current affairs, you will be having 15 to 18 pages. So in the last 10 15 days, along with the static part pages, you will also revise these facts multiple times. Every day you can complete the 15 pages. You can easily read it in a 3 4 hours, or maybe for 2 days you can do it. So 6 7 times you can do it in the last 10 15 days. That will make you very confident in covering current affairs as well as static part. So this is a very basic thing everyone has to do, everyone has to follow. So try to do this particular thing in the next coming few days. Just 15 10 or 15 days before the exam, you have to complete this process, right? So this is the approach for notes making and doing the most important thing in the last 50 or 60 days. Any doubts in this? Whatever we have discussed, no need to please don't ask the doubts beyond these things. I'll give you the last few minutes where you can ask, but from the discussions that we have done, if you have any doubts, please let me know, or else we'll move to the next part. Any doubts from the discussion? Okay, great. Now we'll move to the next part, that is the most important, especially for those who are failing in prelims. Maybe for first attempters, of course, it is also important, but especially for those who are failing in prelims, you have to uh, Faiza, actually, I can't speak Hindi as I'm from southern part of India. I can speak in English. I can understand Hindi, but I cannot able to speak in Hindi. You can connect to the Aditya sir, other mentors who can speak in Hindi. I'm so sorry for this, but I'm not having skill to speak in Hindi. I hope you understand. Yeah. So let me move to the next part. As is, I'm telling, for the most important thing for those who are actually failing in solving the preliminary examination. Okay. So now I am discussing about the approach to solve the UPSC paper. This is a very, very important, even though it is a micro part, but still this is the most important thing to clear the preliminary examination. Okay. So let me share. Is my screen visible to everyone? Yeah, great. So let's discuss about the paper solving approach. Someone might have already followed, but of course the micro changes can be applied. Please do listen very attentively, and if you have any doubts, please let me know in between itself in the comment section. Right? So yes, just before going the exam, most of you all who are preparing very seriously for the exam, you will have a very less amount of sleep. You might have experienced this in your past attempts. If you have already given the exam, you will have a very less amount of sleep. Maybe on bed you are for 7 8 hours, but you will get only 3 4 hours of sleep, right? Because of tension or anxiety and all. So the mindset that you need to keep is you are going to give your best in the next 10 12 hours that you are completing by 4:30. I mean, until you came out of the exam hall. So have a mindset that you are going to put all efforts even if you don't have 1 hour of sleep. Just for a day you are going to put all your efforts, right? So that mindset has to be developed, that don't worry that I'm not having sleep, so will it affect my performance in the exam. That mindset should keep aside. You should feel confident that I'll give my best even though I don't have sleep. That is one important thing. And second thing, before going for exam, don't have any presumption that static part questions will be more, current affairs questions will be more, or maybe from polity that I have strong grip will come more questions. So shun those all thoughts from your mindset aside. You should have a mindset that whatever may be the question, let it be current affairs, let it be integration of 2 3 subjects like geography, international relations, let them give any question. You will read each and every word in each of the question from starting first letter to the option D, whatever given. You will read everything, understand, and you will give your best based on your understanding, based on your knowledge. That fearless mindset should be there, right? So that is one second most important thing. And also don't think about whether you clear it or not. Whenever you are whenever you want to succeed, you should also ready to face the failure. That is life, right? So not always success will come. Even after becoming IAS officer, you will see lot of failures. I'm telling you, with lot of people who are in IAS IPS, they were saying they don't even get some time, right? So I was having one good friend of Pallavi. She got IAS in Tamil Nadu cadre. She was saying me that not even single day they will get permission to have leave to go because that whole district will be halted. So why I'm telling this is that don't worry about the result. It can be success, it can be failure. It is not an end. You have to prepare again for mains, or if not, you have to give next attempt as well. So that thinking about result should be keep aside. Rather, you will give your best for each and every question. That mindset has to be keep in your thoughts, right? And other important point, the presence of mind. This is the most critical point. In the 2 hours of exam, most of the students will think somewhere else. Okay, I will prepare for mains, or what will happen, if I won't get proper score in GS or CSAT. So that you will be having two thoughts. You will be reading the question, you will be thinking somewhere else, and then you will choose the wrong option. So you should have only one thought in understanding the question, right? You should have a single thought. Presence of mind, whatever you are reading should be clearly understood. You can do it in your own language. we inherently have a skill. Whenever you are reading English statement, automatically our mind converts into our own language, right? So that complete presence of mind, thinking what you are reading, understanding what you are reading, should be paramount or the most important thing in the exam. So try to maintain that, practice that here in the test series, so you will obviously do it in the exam hall as well. This has affected me a lot of silly mistake in my first attempt, second attempt, way back in 2016-17. So my mind was not there, I was just reading, and my mind was thinking about failure or success after the exam and all. So a lot of 5 to 6 questions made a lot of silly mistakes. So that should not happen, right? So these are all the mindset that you need to keep in mind when you are solving the question paper in the exam hall, right? I hope this is clear. Any doubts in this? So I'm asking a question so that if you have any doubts, you can comment, or else I'll go ahead with the next thing, right? Okay. So as I did not receive any question, I'm going ahead with the next part. Yeah. See, paper should be solved in a 3 iteration approach. Some might have already deployed, and most of the people, what they do, they will solve the question in one go. From starting first minute to the 120th minute, they will solve all the 1 to 100th question. So that should not happen. You should solve the paper in 3 rounds. If you are not accustomed to it, try to practice now. Listen what I am telling and try to apply it for the few tests. You will see the benefits out of it, right? So whenever you have taken the question paper for the first time from the examiner, 5 minutes before itself, they will give the question paper. Of course, you can check it, and then when the first minute start, try to solve from one question to 100 question after reading completely the given question. Most of the students, what they do, they will read the first line of the question and they think that they cannot answer this, and they will go to the second question. That should never happen. Even if you don't know, try to read all the words given in the question from one or from the first letter to the option D, then decide whether you can answer or not, right? For example, you have read the first question and you have eliminated one option or two options, we can say. Okay, you have eliminated two options and you still remain with the two options, so don't answer it. Keep it a round mark, circle mark over the number of the question, first question, so round it off. Second question, you have eliminated three options and you got the answer. Mark it and bubble then and there. So this I'm again explaining you. Some people will do 10-15 questions together and then again they will come back to bubble together. This is a negative thing, because after coming back after solving 15 questions, you will again read the question. Most of the, if not everyone, you will try to read the question again to confirm whether the answer is correct or not. So you will waste 15-20 seconds for each of the question reading again. So accumulating 5 to 6 minutes will be wasted. So if you know the answer and if you are 100% sure, you bubble there itself and then go to the third question. In third question, you were able to eliminate one option. So you are left with three options now. Now what you will do, you will put triangle symbol over that question number 3, and you went for the fourth question, right? Now you don't know any of the options. I mean, you could not able to eliminate any of the option. Now keep it as a square. So 4 sides. That means you don't know, you could do not able to eliminate one or even a single option. So in UPSC exam, rather than finding the answer, you have to eliminate the options. You have to take elimination approach for each and every question rather than choosing directly the answer. So that should be done. So 4 question you have done. Fifth question you will go, and if you know the answer, then bubble there only. Sixth question, if you have eliminated two option, again circle mark it. So like that, try to solve all the 100 questions in 1 hour 15 minutes. This should be, keep in mind, 1 hour 15 minutes you should solve the complete first round. So you may be solving around 30 to 35 questions. See, UPSC exam, nobody will know questions beyond 50. It is very difficult. They will be knowing only 40 questions, but how they will handle after the second round or in the second round and third round is the matter. So in the first round, if you could able to solve 40 questions, it is a very good attempt. Even if it is beyond 30-35 also, that is a very decent attempt. Now after 1 hour 15 minutes, you will come back to the first question. And which questions will you solve now? Can anyone answer this question? Which question you will solve in the second round?
Triangle one.
The
Circular one.
ones.
Yes, circular one, because there already been to 50% options has been eliminated, and you have a possibility of getting correct 50%. In the next 20-25 minutes or maybe 30 minutes also, if the question paper is lengthy like last past years, you will be solving only the circle based questions. You have already put the symbols, so you no need to even search for the questions. We all know that circle based questions are the most important because to eliminate two options has been eliminated. So you will find all the circle based questions one by one, and based on that, you will answer. I'll tell you in the next slides when you are left with two options how to handle it. I'll tell in the next coming slides. I'm just discussing about the three iteration approach. Now, after solving half an hour, you are left with 15 minutes. In the next 10 minutes, you will solve the triangle based or triangle symbol options. If there is a possibility, at least some questions can be answered. Most of the people will eliminate two options, and for 35 questions has been attempted in the first round, and in second round also they will do around 40 questions. 35 to 40 questions or circle based questions will be there if you are seriously prepared, and you will attempt them. And the third last 10 minutes, I mean the out of last 15 minutes, 10 minutes, try to solve the triangle based symbol questions. You already have the symbols. And in the last 5 minutes, if you have time, then only touch the rectangle symbols which you don't know any of the options. Maybe you cannot recollect in the last 5-10 minutes based on your memory, so you can come in the last 5 to 10 minutes. So this is the approach you have to follow in solving the question paper. Everyone has to follow this. This is a very trustworthy process where the toppers also followed the same, right? Now, sir, you have 1 second, just a second. Yeah, yes, just a second. Let me share the screen. Yeah, so you might be asking question now, sir. You said three iteration approach. Then how to check the time? There is always a Xavier, but it's get difficult to do in three rounds, too lengthy and pairs questions. See, it is not like that. With practice, you can do Xavier. So even if it is not I mean, if it is time taking, you can leave a little bit of the last, that is triangle, sorry, rectangle based questions. You can leave. If you practice, nothing is difficult. This is a workable solution for this. You can see a lot of videos from the toppers also, and it worked for me in all the prelims, right? So if you follow this, I mean, if you practice this, it is not difficult. Please try to do it for the what you call in the next few tests, and you will understand. See, even if it is a pairs question, like only one pair, two pairs, three pair, four pair, even for these questions also, you will be left with two options. If you have eliminated one statement, for example, one statement has been eliminated, so there is a option you can eliminate that all four, because you have eliminated first option. So all four is not possible now. So you strike it off. Exam paper, you can strike the options. There is no restriction that you cannot use. Even though they have mentioned in the paper that nothing is marked, you can do it. No examiner will question it. So try to use that approach, right? So I'm coming back to the point. There are certain benchmarks within the 2 hours. You need to keep checking the clock where you stands. For the first 1 hour, for the first at the end of first 1 hour, you have to at least be on the 65th question at the end of first hour, or maybe 65 to 70 questions. In between that number, you have to there. As I said, you have to solve each question one by one without completely reading them. You should not leave just after reading the question, rather you have to solve. So at the end of 1 hour, you should be at least at 65th question. So try to practice that, you will achieve. And if you still want a benchmark at the half an hour, you should at least be at 25 to 30th question. Okay, so this can also be put. So use the benchmarks. At the end of 1 hour 15 minutes or 1 hour 20 minutes, you completely read the first round of the question paper, right? So this benchmarks has to be kept, right? So that is about the time management. Try to practice more, read. See, if you completely have presence of mind, you will save a lot of time in this bubbling approach. Like for every question, if you bubble and then complete presence of mind, this will save a lot of time. So try to practice those things, right? uh, Manu, yeah, my experience from 2000, 18, I mean, my first prelims, which I cleared. So, um, first, I used to keep the benchmarks. Those days, the question papers were a little bit, not very lengthy. And I also gave 2022 mains. Of course, I did not get an interview call. 2022, my last attempt of prelims, I cleared with very good margin, scoring 100 plus, and it was just 85 something cutoff. So even though it is lengthy, I was able to complete because of my presence of mind, the complete presence of mind in reading and understanding the question. That will save you a lot of your time. If you're allowing your mind to flow away from the exam hall, then yes, your time will waste and you will waste some time, and it will get delayed, right? So have a complete presence of mind. At the 1 hour 15 minutes, I used to easily be completing the paper in the first round, right? And accuracy, yes, first round I used to, like, I can remember out of 46 questions I attempted in 2022, 42 questions were correct. So at least 90% of accuracy should be maintained in the first round questions, right? Yeah. So that is about the benchmarks. Now let me come to the elimination techniques. Some elimination techniques are there, of course, with a very basic content. You should have a strong grip over the content. Then only elimination techniques will work. If you're not reading properly and going for exam hall, nothing will work. The elimination techniques are very much redundant, right? If you're strong with the content, then yes, there are some elimination techniques. First one is based on the language. Based on the language used in the UPSC. Let's see one previous question. You can check here. Some mushrooms have medical properties, some mushrooms have psychoactive properties, some mushrooms have insecticide properties, some mushrooms have bioluminescent properties. So there is a simple language, some they are saying. That means there is a possibility. If any 1% possibility is there in the statements, you can take it as a correct, because it cannot be rejected by UPSC. So based on the language, there is a possibility. If there is a possibility in the statements, always try to mark it as a correct. So this is one thing based on the language that you need to understand the question. Second thing, based on the basic concepts. Even though if you don't know the fact, right? Even if you don't know the fact, there is a basic concept which will help you. For example, see this question. This is all the questions that I'm taken from previous year questions itself. A bill amending the constitution require a prior recommendation of the president. Is this statement correct or wrong? Anyone? A bill amending the constitution requires a prior recommendation of the president.
So it is wrong.
Yeah, it is wrong. The logic is, can anyone tell me the logic here? Why, even though if you, it is a fact, but still there is a logic behind it. Can anyone tell the logic behind it? Why, in case of constitutional bill, why there is no requirement of the president permission? There is a logic behind it. There is a very basic concept.
Because the president is not elected by all the people of the country, and so therefore
He's a
he should
nominal head,
not
sir.
have the bigger say.
Yes, very good. That is one logic, because amending the constitution is the most important, and that is the prerogative of the legislative aspect. So even single minute role is also not given for any of the nominal heads or the executives. It is completely of the prerogative of the parliament, because changing the constitution is a bigger thing, requires a major majority as well, right? And then it is a prerogative of the parliament, who are directly elected by the people. So there is a logic. So if you know the basic, you no need to even think about the fact that many of the people who by heart the things, they will try to recollect. Okay, I have read it this from some test series or from Lakshmikant. So there is a no possibility. So let me eliminate this. So don't think about the fact, rather there is a logic behind that. All right. Same with the second thing also. When the constitution bill is presented with the president, it is obligatory for president, because there is a logic, as we discussed earlier, that it is a prerogative of the parliament. So you have to take this as a correct. So some based on the basic concepts, if you understand how the constitution works, who has certain authority, based on your basic level, you can use the elimination techniques, right? So this is the second thing that need to be used, right? Next amount of elimination. Consider the question as an analytical manner. See, always whenever you are seeing the question, whenever you are reading the question, first think about an analytical manner. If there is no possibility, then go for the factual remembrance. As I said earlier, most of you recollect from where you have read. That should not happen. Understand the question. You have gained a lot of knowledge after reading multiple subjects. Just understand what question is saying. Let's take one question. Consider the following statements regarding the Indian squirrels. This was a recent question that I have taken, I think, from 2023. They build nests by making burrows in the ground. So this is a very analytical thing, right? So squirrels are a very short, very small animals. Of course, they will do. For larger animals, only the wild pig can do, except that there is no possibility. They need to dig a lot of things, right? So it is an analytical thing. You need to understand analysis it, because it is a smaller animal. Yes, they can dig and they can do it and can go inside, right? So then, if not possible, go for fact. Okay, where should I read it somewhere? So this is not for the statement based analytical questions, but there will be some facts questions, like where was recently discovered of the banana species. There is no analysis there. So try to do analysis. If there is no possibility, then think about the factual manner. Always have an analytical mindset, understand it. Then if not, then you can go for the factual thing. They store their food material like nuts and seeds in the ground. Yes. So, of course, they are very much scared of other animals, the squirrels. Even crows will attack them. If you know how they work. So, of course, they will store for food so that they won't be affected by the enemies. So, there is an analysis part, and they are omnivorous. Omnivorous means they can eat non-veg, that is insects also, on the vegetarian as well. So yes, they can eat insects and all. So there is a analysis in it. Try to have an analysis mindset to solve the questions, right? So that is the third important point. And then checking the possibility of correct and incorrect based on the question. If after analysis, still if you have a doubt in this, you can always use, is there a possibility? Read the statement and try to catch, is there a possibility? Let's read the first question. Marsupials, nobody know this question, but most of you have answered this if you have already attempted, right? Nobody know about marsupials. Who will read all these pieces in a micro manner? But try to read this. Marsupials are not naturally found in India. So we cannot say this exactly. This is a fact thing. So go to the second statement. Marsupials can thrive only in montane grasslands with no predators. Is this possible for any animal without any predators? Right? Except the higher level of food chain, that is tigers and all. No other animals will, not have the predators. There will be some predators. So there is no possibility at all in this statement. So you can eliminate second options and we can directly got the answer. So in all the three except this, C option, there is no possibility for any other statement. So try to catch up the possibility and eliminate it. You will get it. Most of the students, what they will do, they will read marsupials and they will skip the question because they don't know what they did not read marsupial. But if they could have analyzed this after reading all the question, easily they could have answered it even without knowing about marsupials, right? So this is also one of the elimination techniques. Now choosing the between two options. This is again a very big challenge for UPSC aspirants, that most of you eliminate two options, but they will left with two options. So there are certain things that you need to do whenever you are answering the between two options. Always avoid giving answer or choosing the option based on your inherent thoughts, like some intuitions. Okay, I have answered option B in the above question. Let me answer this as a C. There is no such thing. The examiners, like I was the one who was posting all the questions recently from environment in Karma Yogi channel. So we never think about let's give B option, C options. Randomly we will do, right? Examiners, the collection will happen from various examiners who frame the questions, right? So there is no that there won't be any three, four options continuously will happen. So don't have any intuitions. Try to understand, is there any possibility between the two options, understand, then answer it. And if you still could not able to do it, then you can answer it anyhow, like 50% possibility is there for correct. So of course you have to answer all the two elimination questions. Every question that you have eliminated two options has to be given, has to be attempted. First try to find the logic without any intuition. If not, then you can blindly also attempt, because there is a 50% possibility. So if you are attempting 50 such questions, at least 20-25 will get correct. So net score is very high, right? So that is the approach to be done. And then finally, applying common sense. Common sense is also very very important in the exam hall. Whatever you have studied from first class till your graduation or post graduation, so there is always a common sense which you need to apply. Consider the investments in the following assets. How many above are considered as a intangible investments? Intangible means which we cannot see physically, unlike the tangible. So here, inventory is a tangible one. That means you can see whatever the goods that has been left over in the last financial year, you can see it, right? So you can eliminate that. And brand recognition. So there is a we cannot see tangibly. So brand recognition is a intangible one. So it is an hidden one, right? So this is one common sense that you can use. Intellectual property, again, our thoughts cannot be seen physically. Mailing list of clients. So we will see the overall data rather than each mail considering who mailed. All these things nobody will do in the business. So these are all hidden things. So common sense, if you could able to do, if you read the question and understand it, you can easily answer this type of questions which are based on common sense, right? And one more important thing is choosing the number of questions. Many times the students are asking how many questions should be attempted in the exam. See, we used to answer 90 plus into until 2020, something like that. I also gave forest service mains examination. Once like I scored around 120 because we used to attempt 90 plus. But as the question papers are becoming difficult, it should be around 80. Anything 80 plus or minus 2, but it should not be less than 80. Mostly at least 80 questions has been have to be attempted. Accuracy is a myth in the exam. Very 1% or 2% people will have a good accuracy. Most of the people will have accuracy around 70 to 80% only. So accuracy is a difficult thing in the exam where the syllabus is very vast, right? So at least 80 questions, 80 to 85 is a optimum very good number of attempt. Try to attempt them. It should not cross 90 in such type of lengthy papers as well as the difficult papers. If a paper seems to be easy, then you can do. And we can never predict UPSC. If you go, UPSC may go back to the 2016 approach. 2016, all are facts directly without any analysis. So they may come up with nobody can question, right? So it is a very rigid institution. You have to be ready. That's what I'm telling. Before going for exam, you should not have any presumptions. Go with the free mindset to give your best for each and every question, right? So that is about choosing the number of questions. Now CSAT paper, briefly I'll tell you. I'm not discussing in detail. uh, so in CSAT paper, there are English questions as well as aptitude reasoning questions. My suggestion is in the first 1 hour, don't search for particular questions. Like I want to solve only English questions. I want to solve only reasoning questions. Don't search like that. You will waste a lot of time. So first, whenever you got the paper at 2:30, try to solve from first question to 35, 40 questions in the first 1 hour. Let it be English. For example, first two questions are English. Read the comprehension and then find out the answer. If not, go for the next question. So first 1 hour, don't search for questions. Try to do from 1 to 40 questions, right? And then attempt at least 20 to 25. You will be attempting if you are seriously attempted, if you're seriously prepared. And in the last, out of last 1 hour, in the half an hour, first half an hour of the second hour, that is 1 hour to 1 hour, 1.5 hour, try to search your best areas like English. Some prefer English, some prefer aptitude, so that you can do it, right? So first 1 hour, don't search for questions. Rather 1 to 40, try to solve. In the last half an hour, out of 41 to 80 questions, try to solve your stronger areas, right? And the time management is also same. Benchmarks you have to keep. First 1 hour, you should be at least at 35 questions, 35 to 40 question in between that, right? Keep a benchmarks. And then answering minimum number of questions. Don't come out of exam without solving 45 plus questions, right? So English questions, everyone has to attempt almost all the questions, as aptitude becoming like cat level and all. So 25 to 30 questions, or even around 30 to 32 questions are getting from English. So you try to solve all the English questions, though there will be 30, around 25, 30, and 10 to 15 aptitude questions has to be solved. So don't come out of exam hall without solving 45 plus questions. So that is also important thing for CSAT, right? And then finally, as I said earlier, have free mindset, confidence when you are solving the paper. Don't think about result. As I said, you have to be ready for failure also when you are trying to have a success. That is the life basic philosophy. So have a fearless mindset. You can your performance will be more higher when you are confident, right? So this is all from my side about solving the paper and then basic things. So if you have any doubts, please let me know now. Yes, Girija, please tell your query.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
So,
yes. Hi. Very good evening.
so
Tell me.
my query is this is going to be my fifth attempt, and I never cleared prelims till now. But
Okay.
still, I'm nervous. The thing is, when in the last in my last attempt, I was too much serious, and I prepared very in a good manner. But what happened in the exam hall? I was sure about, matlab, 100% sure about only 15 to 20 questions that are means 100% sure, like this is the answer.
Yeah.
After that it was completely I was in dilemma, what to do. And regarding the questions that are newly introduced, like one only, two only, three only, in those things also, I felt that there should need a strong command in static. And after that in the guessing side also, sir, I am.
Just a second. Girija, right? Your name?
Yes, sir.
Girija, let's connect personally. I'll have a call with you because yours is fifth attempt and you are not able to clear prelims. So there are certain things that I need to consider from your side. My Telegram ID was tagged in the channel. Please do message me. We will connect on call because you need a little bit more assistance in this regard.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, please message me in Telegram. We will have a call. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Amit, what could be the last 50-day strategy? See, this, as I said earlier, the strategies and all, because you are new to this preparation, you might be, very much in anxiety and all. There is no different strategy for, I mean, there is no single strategy for anyone. There is a different strategies. So what you need to do, there is a static part, there is a current effects. So whatever you follow, whatever resources, there is no proper credible sources, whatever you're following are all good. Now try to read them once again, revise them. As I said earlier, try to make a short notes, like in the last 10 to 15 days you should not touch the textbooks. You should have a very crisp fodder material. You will be reading only those. So divide your day plan into static part, current affairs, and then solving the test. This is the basic thing. No other strategy. There is a different strategies. So don't believe in those things. You have to read the subjects, make a short notes. The most important is last 10-15 days you should have a fodder material to solve. Of course, you need to solve sectional tests and then at least 10 to 15 full length tests you need to solve from various institutes. Don't take one specific institutes. Your mind will tune to that language. So try to mix up the things from 3-4 institutes and solve the 10 to 15 full length tests and some one or two sectional tests for each of the subject, right? So that is the basic strategy. Yes, those who skipped the newspaper, try to do PT 365, but at least one monthly magazine, please do it thoroughly. Visionize monthly magazine, because if you do PT 365, your mind will always think in a factual manner. They are all given with a dump of facts, but monthly magazines are given with the issue based. They will make you understand the issue, develop the analytical mindset. This is a very micro thing which plays a very significant role. So try to read at least one or two monthly magazines seriously. By understanding the issue, at least your brain will understand the thinking part, right? Yeah. Any doubts?
Sir,
Yes, Janani, yes, please tell me.
sir, we are attempting sectional tests from various institutes, sir. So
Hmm.
I have a doubt. How should we analyze the questions? After answering all the things and we get the mark. After that, what are the in what aspects we should analyze the outcome, sir?
Right, a very good question. I forgot to tell this. Element. See, most of you people are giving the sectional tests, right? And after completing the test, if just to find out those questions which you got wrong, and then got correct by based on fluke. Even though it is not content based, you just by fluke you could have answered them. So no need to revise all the subject again after completing that test. So from first question to 100 questions, try to identify those questions which you got wrong and then you were answered them flukely. So it will take around 15 to 20 minutes to identify the questions which you got wrong answers as well as fluke. Only those questions, mostly 20 to 30 questions will be there, which you could not able to, or maybe that 40 50 questions also possible, right? So try to revise them and maintain a separate file with 5 pages of A4 sheets or maybe book also. So if you feel that there is a new knowledge which were not covered in the books, try to make a short notes. So one single notes for all the tests that you are giving, only those contents which you were not able to collect it from the books, those things you have to. And along with the static and current affairs, the crisp fodder material in the last 15 days, you will also revise this material that you have made from the test series.
So, okay, sir, and also while attempting these questions, it is not up to the UPSC standard, right, sir?
Yes,
So how the marks are relatively lower, and we cannot analyze the way we analyze UPSC questions. We cannot analyze
right,
the options. So,
right.
what is your opinion on that, sir?
See, this again, one more important question you have asked, Janani. Most of the students will feel fear in this. Scoring, less than the threshold limit. See, no need to worry about score, but if it is less than 60 marks, you have to worry. The way 60 marks is very basic from any test that you take. If you apply basic knowledge, you will score 60, but most of you fall under 70, 80, below 80. But this is not a big thing. You no need to worry. Your score will not reflect in the final exam what you are scoring here. I'll tell you one example also. In 2020, uh, uh, 1 second. Okay, 10 minutes పడుతుంది. Just give me a second. I'll answer this. Sorry for this.
ଯେକୌଣସି ଜିନିଷ ନୂଆ ମାର୍କେଟ ବାହାରିବ ଟେଷ୍ଟ କରିକି ଖାଇବା କଥା।
Yeah. So, yes. So the question is, yes. How many score you are getting in the test series and all, right? I'll tell you one example. In 2020 attempt, just 3 4 days before the actual prelims, I solved Insights IAS test and I got around 71. I already cleared prelims and then not too much worried about this. But actual exam, I scored around 123. That year, I even wrote Forest Service mains examination. So, what your score is not exactly the reflection of the UPSC. All these tricks that we were discussing will not work in the test series because there is a lot of factual based content questions and all. So, this is not at all. Useful in the test series that you are solving. Test series are only to gain knowledge, to test your knowledge, and identifying the new contents which were not mentioned in the books. No need to worry about the score, but if you're scoring less than 60, then there is a little bit issue with your content. So try to cover that as well.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Realme, how to minimize the negative marking. See, whatever we have discussed till now, the mindset, the elimination techniques, all these things are the elements that we have discussed for uh, reducing your negative score. Attempting the question in 3 round approach, bubbling then and there, presence of mind, elimination techniques are based on language. All these are the things that we have discussed to reduce the negative score. So try to apply what we have discussed. If you still facing this issue after 1 month, please do message me in Telegram. Then we will see what is the issue behind this. Okay, try to apply all these things. Your negative score will reduce. But in the test series, as I said, they will give a lot of facts, useless questions, and all. So maybe yes, you will not be able to score high, but no need to worry about it. Any other questions? If not, we can end the session. Great. So I'll wait for 30-40 seconds. If there is a question, I'll answer it. If not, my ID is already tagged in the channel. So you can message me if you're still facing, especially those who were not able to clear 3-4 times of prelims. We have discussed these things. Try to implement. If it is not working, then please reach out to me. We will see what can be done. Fine. So that's all from my side. I hope the session was useful. Please try to practice. It will really work. Even though it is difficult in the initial phases, try to solve around 10 tests with all these things, presence of mind and all that we have discussed. This session will also be uploaded in the YouTube. I'll tell to Aditya sir to upload this in our channel. So if you forget anything, you can always watch the video again. You can message me also if you're facing issues. Yes, missed by cutoff. So try to deploy these things, and if you are still facing, you can message me Realme RMX 3710. Okay. Yeah. Fine. Yes, by tomorrow morning it will be uploaded, Yogesh. Right? Yeah. Thank you, everyone. So prepare well. And anyway, I forgot about your motivation as well. Of course, that is the last part of our session. No need to worry about the result. As I told you earlier, that even after becoming IAS, you will not be completely confident or happy. Life is full of all this turmoil. It is like head and tail. One time we will be happy, one time we will be sad. So always try to develop the mindset based on process. Don't need to worry about end result. It is not the uh, final in your life. Life is beyond certain things, right? So always focus on process. Be confident in life. Your destiny will come even if you don't want. The destiny that was there, it will always come to you. Okay, you may be becoming IAS officer. If not, you may become a big business magnate. There are a lot of such stories. So your destination will ultimately come. You no need to worry about the result. Try to give your best, give it a try. If not, then yes, time will take care, right? Focus on the process. Roshini, yes, maybe you haven't revised the things. One important point is your peak preparation will not be reached now. You should never reach. You have to reach your peak preparation just 10 or 1 week before the exam. If exam is on June 16th, maybe by June 10 or June, after June 5th, I mean, preparation should reach the peak. If you reach the peak preparation now, it will be a decline. So no need to worry. Yes, 4 or 5 questions is a very good attempt. The questions that I am framing are very difficult, very micro level. How to think you to make you mistakes. So keep practicing it, keep revising the things. You will reach your peak just before exam. You also score more in the coming days, right? Fine. So that's all. Happy preparation. Be motivated always. Try to take a day individually rather than looking over long term. Early morning itself, try to fix the schedule what you're going to complete the task in that particular day and follow them. That's all. And be very joyful. This process is long, tedious. You should be very happy being in this process because a lot of people are fighting just to have a food, right? More than 30-40% of India people are facing the difficulty. So we are in a very good position actually. You are a very privileged to be in this process. Have that mindset. It will really help. And wish you all the best to your hard work and rest leave it to the time. Thank you. Goodbye.